not, y'all. 2023. Y'all know what time it is. It's time for Like It or Not. With Rebecca Azor. Let's start this damn show. Yes, it's time for Like It or Not. With Rebecca Azor. Let's start this damn show. Like It or Not. Rebecca Azor is in the house. You know she got a funny story to tell. Talking politics, culture, or real life-ish. I live in life in the ATL. Benjamin, yeah, that's my man. He's always coming up with the master plan. Politics scheming, not trying to find the meaning of life. And while the feds keeps us in strife. I'm your DJ. I really don't need no introduction right now, but you know what? I stay dropping them jams. Y'all know who I am. Good hope, dad jokes, culture-ish, politics. What you're hearing right now was the culmination of all of this. I started out with the mic in my hand, and I graduated to a plethora of fans. I love bringing joy to the people. It makes me feel great, makes me feel regal. I do what I do for you. 8 p.m. Friday, you know how we do. Let's go. It's time for Like It or Not. With Rebecca Azor. Let's start this damn show. It's time for Like It or Not. With Rebecca Azor. Let's start this damn show. Like it or not, y'all. 2023. Let's start this damn show. Let's go.
Like It or Not starts now.
Good morning, good morning, good morning.
Good morning, and welcome to Like It or Not, where we're free to tell the truth
and not care who doesn't like it. We got the whole crew in the house today. What's happening?
We do. So great to see you guys. Like I haven't.
Y'all too.
Hold on, I forgot. It's like DJ Exclusive got a new background.
Yeah,
you know,
it's
so that
like,
means.
Wait, this hand. Hang on.
There's been a move. It looks like this. It's brighter.
Mhm.
I love light.
Yeah.
Your skin, you know, is giving brown skin. You know, I love your brown skin. That's what it's giving. That's what it's giving. Yeah.
Right, I came in. I was like, wait a minute. Now, who is this?
Yeah. Because you know, when you ain't got the hair, but you got to do it. Like when my hair be in two braids, when I take this wig off, and I have to act like I have a bang. I'd be like,
wait, you mean that's a wig?
Yes, it's greatly blended because my natural hair is beautiful quality, so I can blend it.
Right.
Thank you so much. Everybody says that. They're like, we can't believe that's a wig, and I'm like, and it is. It's just This is what this going 5 years old in the game.
All right.
Okay. Listen, and we still and it still do it.
Stiff whip.
It's stiff whip.
Where colored and cut by me. Sometimes you got to go to the salon of you when the coins ain't there, and you got to pull out Old Faithful, and you got to pull out Old Faithful, and you got to stay to the salon where they're telling you that hey, you got to come washed and pressed. You got to come with your edges trimmed, your ends trimmed. You got to come with the dandruff outside of your scalp. You got to come with your credit score at 700. You can't come to my roach infested house. You can come to the salon that I got in my baby's room. You cannot come here if you don't have $1,000, $3,000 in your savings account.
That's right. That's right.
Step your money up. You can't come to my house because I don't have a car, but you can't travel here on Uber. Step your money. I can't go to those.
There's a lot of rules. There's a lot of
rules.
So I gotta go to where I'm. And then, listen. Squeeze-in fee because I had the time. So since I'm squeezing you in, even though I had that time available, that's gonna cost you. Okay. You calling your mama while you sitting here with me, that's gonna cost you because only me, I can call my mom. I can take breaks to go sit with my boyfriend. I can go literally eat food for about an hour and not tell you that I'm gonna go eat food, even though half of your hair done in braids. I can start late. And I can also end late how I want to. You can't tell me what to do. You see, these are the rules, and these are the rules in land. So
we didn't mean to trigger your experience.
Yeah. I had to get
it brought up a whole bunch, and the thing is, this is the same thing with these restaurants in Atlanta now too.
Yeah. Restaurants too. You can't come if
Restaurants
it's
too.
only you coming for a solo dinner.
Oh,
now
no.
we're gonna have to charge you because usually this place is packed out. So now we got to charge you because you decided to come and have brunch at a brunch spot by yourself. Yeah, so we charging you $200 because you a loser. You're a loser. And so if you don't have your friends that are gonna pay for hookah, take pictures at our spot, eat our cold food, but they're not gonna know that it came out cold because all they're gonna be doing is taking pictures because we got grass walls and hookah. Then you see rules. And then listen, when you sit at our table on a Saturday, this is the same table that you're sitting on a Wednesday. The same table that you're sitting on Wednesday, you're sitting on a Saturday. But because it's a Saturday, because of this particular day of the week, and we may or may not be full, but we don't know. But we're just gonna say that we're gonna be full. We're charging you 75% gratuity. Everybody getting paid.
Rebecca, you started off kind of generically, like it was funny. It was a joke. We were listening to you, but now you're giving us some real life experiences. Who's true?
This is all true. When I tell you these people in Atlanta have lost their damn mind.
Yes, that's fact.
They really have.
So that's why you moved? Because it seems like it's brighter where you're at. It's sunnier.
It is. So I am in.
Don't be specific.
Don't tell nobody that's right.
I got some real Nazis watching. Okay.
Yeah.
See, exactly. I am south of Atlanta. So I left the hustle and the bustle of the city and came to like the sticks where it's like some lakes out here and everything. And when I tell y'all, I love this peace and quiet out here. I do not miss it. I don't have the interruption of my little two kids. The ones I used to call my kids. I don't have the interruption of them anymore, knocking on the door all times of night. I don't have no drunk people all out in the street acting like they're a fool and they got no sense at 3 o'clock in the morning. When I tell you, when the street light come on, it's nobody out here, and I love it.
That's the best.
It's just like. I love it.
You could have gone to I can't say that on there. Never mind. Go ahead, Rebecca. I was going to say something else. Go ahead, Rebecca. Just on
No, I wasn't going to say anything. I was going to say sometimes you have to. Another thing, everything is just, and I'm not trying to ride on Atlanta, but the experience from when I was back in the day to now, it's just a lot of these cities have become so a walking Instagram post. So the having to really experience something with your friends or with just because you live in that city and you know it, whatever, it's so far removed. It's just literally looks and everything like that. So even, in this space I live in, I had to go further because cheaper rent. Yeah, like I want to live around Black people, but because this area you can get something brand new and cheaper rent. Honestly, for me, it's not as safe, but a safer area. You know that your car is parked in the parking spot of a building.
Yes.
That the people that work at the apartment of this luxury place in the middle of Buckhead are not gonna coerce with somebody else and then go ahead and steal the tires off your vehicle.
They're very innovative in Atlanta.
Yeah, they're very innovative and
very much so.
So here I know I can park my car. I know I have police presence, even though I don't like it, but I love it because of what we do. Police presence, gated community, those type of things. And that to me is I want to have the things without having to feel like I can't afford the things the things that the same price for this is the price of a Roach hotel motel in the city area. So the piece that I get here, I'm not gonna lie, other than the police run-ins, that's my
that was the thing I heard you say and you went right past it so quick, Rebecca. You said it's safe out here, but not necessarily for me.
It's been police run-ins. The most issues that I had here has been police run-ins because from day one since I've been here, I was the only Black person in the building. I say that often here. And then there was, I know where you live now, Bubba, predominantly Black, but, just being able, I say all this to say, it's like being able to just go out now, like the quiet, the peace, and then actually enjoying the same restaurants that may be in the city, but in this area, no lines. Your food is cooked correctly. You can actually just be in the room and just enjoy yourself. Like all of those things. Like I like the part of my town. I know my boyfriend, he calls it like live my little downtown. It's a little downtown and I'm okay with it because I can walk, I can sit, I can eat. If I go to a restaurant, they valet park for that particular restaurant. They have a park there where you can sit. It's not congested. You're literally going there not because you want to be on the gram, but because you actually want to sit in the sun. You want to have a moment. And so I say all those things because hairdressing or apartment hunting What else we got? Barbershops, they doing it too. Restaurants, everything has been, and I just think to myself, like I don't mind if I meet someone. I already have somebody, but if my person, hopefully that person,
you better say it right.
But like I get it right, because he's gonna be like, I heard what you said, so we not together. No, but if my person, I'm at the place where if my person says, let's just travel for a while, I'm okay with it. The getaway is really like if you can afford to do it or whatever. And even that, in other countries, it is cheaper to live. If I can go to Haiti, I wish I could go. I wish we weren't having what we have there. Right. I would just go, because your land is your land. My rent goes up every month, even though I live in a cheaper rent. If my rent is going up, I can't imagine what's going on in the city. There's no stopping it. It's just rent continues to go up, and that's where I want to start at. Rent is too damn high.
That was the main reason I left, because there's no way in hell I was paying $1,400 for where I was at. Where I started at $825.
What?
When I was staying there, when I first moved in, and now it's almost $1,400, and that's 3 years. And when I tell you, all the other units, they got new ceiling fans, new floors, new tile, new ovens, and everything. And I'm still in the same old thing. So I've been there from the very beginning. So I left all of my stuff, and I said deuces to y'all.
You left the stuff?
Not everything, okay. But my cloud ceiling, all the paintings, my paintings,
out with the old.
Yeah, I would. Absolutely right. But it's just like, man, I'm like, no, I'm out, because that's not fair, man.
James, I'm checking out your microphone. Is that the green mic? Is that a new mic?
No, so this is actually my roommate's mic, because my Shure mic, I went to use it this morning, and the USB port fell inward.
Bro, why did it say we're gonna have a conversation? Same thing happened to one of mine. Wow.
David said the same thing.
So what happened to it?
The USB part of those Shure microphones, after a few years, they fall right out.
Oh, mine is suffering right now. That's why it keeps knocking out.
And these microphones are expensive as crap, bro. For that to be happening,
been by mine.
Exactly right. I mean,
right. I know how expensive all of them are.
Yeah, we by mine, because I was working with my MacBook, and my MacBook got one speaker that's holding on. So when if y'all wasn't hearing it, it's like, yeah.
So my main MacBook, both of my speakers are gone out. So if I unplug and just where it's the speakers itself, it sounds like somebody dirty trunk rattling in Florida.
Yeah,
you already know what I mean.
Yeah, for real, back in the Freaknik days.
No, it gets that's how, I don't know. I think that's all MacBooks, and I have a pretty aged MacBook. It's about 10 years old. Maybe I'll give it about 8 years old. So I got this, and it's been holding on. I can't afford a new one, so that's okay. That one of the speakers is that's how y'all sound to me right now. That's how you guys sound. I have to listen real hard. But
what Dwayne used to say all the time, Rebecca, wear your headphones.
And I
can't put on those headphones that man bought us one time.
It's not comfortable.
I don't even know where they are at this point, but
in the studio, I used to, have it up my dress and all that because I had to. But at home, it's just you guys. So all those that's okay. I'm gonna make it through. But it is. We're going to start with high rent. I actually wanted to discuss that. I'm going to grab a video and just about somebody explaining it, and then I'm going to grab some stats, and we can just discuss, because I just feel like, Bubba, you discussed your rent, and I'm going to be candid with you guys. I'm going to give you a ballpark. Started off at just at $1,000. I'm about to hit $2,000 now, and I've only been here about 4 years. That's $1,000 on top of my rent.
Wow.
Sweat, oh God. So when people say things like, you're living, you're living above your means. I moved here and I wasn't living above my means. I was living at my means. I found this place literally at my means. I told them what I can afford, what it looked like, whatever the case may be. And this is God blessing with this place. It happened to be under construction, so they needed people to move in. It worked out for me. And then next thing you know, over time, new management, they took away some amenities and raised my rent. They took away amenities, raised my rent. I used to get a grace period. My grace period is as soon as that day, the third day of the month comes, literally at 11:59.5. they already sent you $500 fee on top of.
How much?
So imagine you already hitting $2,000, $500 fee. Amenities are gone. Amenities are gone. And when I say the things that literally why I chose the space, especially including security, some of those amenities are gone. And rent is just continuously going up higher. And I just feel like,
Rebecca, you said when I got in here, when I came here, I wasn't living beyond my means. Now it looks like you're living beyond your means.
And not because I didn't choose this. And imagine, you guys, here's what people don't understand too. Applying for apartments,
come on,
super expensive. In Atlanta, you don't even know. It's almost like the lottery. You don't know if you're gonna get chose. No matter if you fit the criteria or not. The fee for the application, the fee for you may have to pay first and last month's rent. You may have to pay the three first months. You don't know what it's gonna be for you. They might say, "Oh yeah, your credit is good, but something came back." They can't verify what came back, and they don't have to be able to tell you what came back. And they tell you you may be homeless while you trying to get out this apartment because it's too expensive. And I say this because I've had this conversation with family. You know, why haven't you looked for anything else? Yada yada. And I've said many a time, like,
I have.
I can't, because getting this apartment was a blessing, but the process was crazy. They're looking at your credit. If you can't with the credit, then they're going to ask you to get a first and last month. If you can't get the first and last month, they're going to ask you for a large deposit or all of the above together. So you got an affordable apartment, but at the same time, this apartment, just to go ahead and get the apartment, you can't afford. You may not have any. David, I dropped this in the video in the chat for you, but you may not have any furniture or whatever, but you just got a place to sit in.
Right.
I mean, that's really all good and right. It's good and well, because you may have been on the verge of being homeless. God bless you with an apartment. But now all that money that you use for all these fees, because they want you to get. They charging me for they never did this. A new management is now charging me for the whole building's electricity. That's an extra $100 every month. The whole building's electricity. I'm responsible for it, along with everybody else. We're all responsible for it. So let's take a listen about his rant about rent, and we can continue the conversation.
Without getting a roommate, there's only two options available. So for your first option, if you want a cheap apartment, is you have to move to far away land. You have to move to a small town where everybody goes to Walmart for fun. There's nothing to do and you'll be bored as hell, but your rent will be $35 a month. Your second option, if you want cheap rent, is your roommate is probably going to be rats and roaches. Your car is going to get broken into. You're probably going to get shot. But at least your city is a lot of fun and there's a lot of things to do in your city. And this is why I think renting is such a very unfair concept. I have a friend who's paying $2,500 a month for a 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom apartment in Miami, Florida. Then I have another friend who's paying $800 for a 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom apartment in a small town in South Carolina. Both apartments are pretty much the same size. The only difference is location. I think it should be illegal for rent to be over $2,000 a month. You could be paying $2,000 a month for your apartment, and your next door neighbor, same model, same everything, could be paying $1,800 for the same model apartment as you. Or they could be paying more than you. When you renew your lease, it could go up by $9 or $900. And then you're paying $2,000 a month, but you will never own your apartment. You will never own it. I feel like rent should be like a fixed amount across the board. A 1-bedroom apartment anywhere in the United States should be like $800. A 2-bedroom apartment should be like $900. Life is unfair, but renting is 10 times unfairer. If you want cheap rent without getting
I like it.
Yeah. So
that's it right there.
So I say that to say, right now, I know everybody wants to talk about, and here, I know people made the argument under the post saying, well, what do you mean? What about people who own those buildings? I mean, I see my building get bought off 99 times. They got built from scratch. We had white glove service. And this is what they do, especially in Atlanta. They will sell this building off to some other freaking management for them to go ahead and up price. Nothing has changed or nothing. And then they'll say it's inflation. No, this building was already built. It was literally built with glue and tape.
Yeah.
So So it was built like overnight type of vibes. They didn't care. I don't even think it's up to code, to be honest. And so with that, they just kind of like, just because it's the aesthetic you pay for, but it's been sold off to different management, and each management chooses what they want. They're saying that it's market price. So underneath the comments, they were saying, oh, you know, what about the people who own these buildings and because of inflation and things like that? And they said inflation is just has been a word that a lot of landlords are using. So, you know, according to See It in Business, they even said that they're calling it greedflation. Landlords across the country have been using inflation as an excuse to raise rents exorbitantly. Without real cause. Many landlords were forced to raise rents to cover increases in mortgage costs or repair costs, but the majority of localities don't have laws that regulate how much they can increase rents in a single year. Especially in Georgia, we see that all the time. They can choose not to raise, but there's no law that says they don't have to. There's a law that just allows them to keep raising. You're not grandfathered in the system with what you have. All of that stuff that used to be back in the day where you're grandfathered in the system. If you sign again just to stay in, they'll keep you lock you at that rate. Those days are over. The Zillow economists have found that current asking rate rents are up 29.9% since the beginning of the pandemic.
That's it.
And listen, and inflation isn't the true cause for this. It's greed. And they're saying that data can show you that what's been online has been false pictures of how high inflation is affecting people who are rent owners, landlords, things of that sort. Management companies are thriving. The people who are renting aren't. So if rent is going up and my pay hasn't gone up, and rent is going up almost $1,000 in less than 3 years, tell me why people really want to be in your business and be like, and I'm talking about when you're trying to explain this to family members who really can't understand and have the conversations of, you need to go look for something a little bit less. When you go look for something less, you have to have the money to put in for application fees. The what if, you're literally
administration fees.
Yeah, administration fees, all those things, but you don't know if they're going to choose you or not. Yep, all types of fees, breathing fees, walking in the door fees. We're in Atlanta, all those things, and they're only going to dress up the area that is the common area. Other than that, you got roaches stuck in the corner, but because the location, you paying for location fees, all of these type of things. But these are the issues that we're going through today, and here they are trying to discuss people's sexualities, and they're trying to police women's bodies. All of this stuff is where they're at with it. Meanwhile, people who finally got a $1 raise and thought they could use that for some groceries are having to penny pinch to pay for the up price in rent. It's a process.
Yeah,
it's stressful.
And that was, like I said, that was one of the main reasons. You hit the other thing on the head, Becca, with the rent's getting higher, but our cost, our income is not getting higher. And especially, I haven't received a raise probably in 3 years. So at this point, I'm not even matching the cost of living. I'm trying to figure out what cost of living are y'all going by, because right now y'all are not meeting it at all.
No.
Those fees, Rebecca. Okay, let me start. In Boston, when I lived in Boston, I don't know, was it 10 years ago? We were paying $2,200 a month for a 2-bedroom. I'm sorry, it was a piece of junk. It was like, not trying to sound bougie or nothing, but it was like, I wouldn't normally raise a family in this kind of building, but I was paying $2,200. You could imagine what something decent in Boston would have looked like. And then, not to mention, we're paying $2,500 a month on top of that for childcare for 2 children. Then we when we lived in Atlanta, we found out after the pandemic started, that's when they started charging $75 per person for application fees. But they had always charged fees, but the game changed. They realized they could use Zillow and collect about $1 million in application fees from a whole bunch of people who were trying to get into one place.
Thank you for pointing that out. Yes.
They would delist that place. I'm telling y'all this from experience. They would delist that place, put that mug back up again, and collect a whole another $200,000-$300,000 in application fees alone. And then whether they rent it out is completely immaterial to them. They're making more money off of us on fees than anything else.
Thank you for pointing that out, Ben. They're also doing that. So they've been doing that in the rental business, but then putting it on Zillow, you get an extra. So you cannot. So you're posting on all these different sites, not only on Zillow, apartments.com, rents.com, all of those things. And each of those people are collecting $75, $100, $50, whatever fee on you trying to scrape up these coins so that you can at least just do this application. And then they take it down. Some of them are saying that this space is no longer available. Then they rented it out to somebody else for the market price of that day, because the market price that you had tried to get it on was at your budget. But then somebody else was willing to pay $2,000 and not $1,500. So now and literally, you guys, rent changes every day. I kid you not. Rent changes every day. I can look right now at the market price of this place I was looking at, and it was $2,100, 3-bedroom type of vibe, whatever. And looked at it again the next day, and baby, it's almost hitting $3,000. Same place, everything you can think of, and here they are raping us.
That's it.
Okay, no lubrication, and that's why I say, y'all, I am out here. My life isn't a struggle, but it's a struggle. You have to, every day something changes, not because I'm living out of my means or what people see me having fun or whatever the case may be. They like, oh, she ain't struggling. No, y'all, the struggle is every day. Even at your own job, they'll promote you with they'll say that's a
no raise
and no raise, no money. You're doing a whole new job, no training. They threw you in there. You're literally leading a team. You have no raise.
But you got a pat on the back, though, Rebecca.
They celebrate you in an email. Don't even give and they took away the $5 gift cards. They sent an email about taking that away as well. So that's why I'm like, y'all, there comes a point in time. Yes, we're struggling to live, but we have to make time for ourselves, and people can't judge us for doing the things we're not at. The world, I can say for where we're at right now in this place, America and our leaders aren't fighting enough to make sure that we're able to live day to day. If they really cared to do that, they would not be, first of all, dipping their noses and spending on other people when that spending can definitely assist us. Shelters, because shelters have become so packed, they're blaming the cost of shelters as well for a part of inflation. I just read that in an article. They're looking for any which way. People are homeless because of what happened during the pandemic.
They don't care. Yep.
Before what happened in the pandemic, you can ride past Bentleys, Rolls Royces. Can't even say it because I can't afford it. But you can pass by the double R's out there. And you literally see homeless people just sitting out there, and people upset about that.
Yeah. Upset at the homeless people.
I gotta make it clear.
At the
homeless people.
Yeah.
And then you have people wanting to, you see Olay sat with Mayor Adams, Eric Adams.
There it is.
There we go, buddy. The Olay sat with Eric Adams. And he even she said that how he was promoting fear mongering amongst his people of New York City. And if you know New York City, if you've ever been there, if you ever lived there, if you ever walked the streets, it's homeless amongst the rich, especially in Manhattan and the gentrified parts of Brooklyn, which is called Williamsburg. All right. Those gentrified areas, you're going to see homeless, and you're going to see those white folks, whatever, the looks. And the mayor over there, as Olay was telling him on the Breakfast Club interview, you're fear mongering by saying that you're going to create laws or saying that, create laws that are going to put homeless people into
mental hospitals, I think it was.
Mental hospitals, yeah. And then he said, so, having somebody sit on a stoop, is that not like a problem? They're talking about spaceships, and they're sitting on a stoop, and you see needles on the floor. And this is New York, first of all. That ain't nothing new, baby. Ain't nothing new. Ain't never hurt nobody. Everybody, some people live outside and still go to work, but they just can't afford housing. Those type of things. Shelters even are over too many people. They're overcrowded, whatever the case may be. But you walk by and you see vacant damn buildings all day long, every day. And so if that's something, you could have talked about creating more shelters, opening those vacant buildings and putting them as shelters, those type of things. But now you're going to allocate money to just throwing these people into mental hospitals when nothing can be wrong with them. They ain't talking to nobody but themselves because they're out there by themselves. And like, why are you putting fear into people to make them think those people are criminal?
Because that's how this system works. That's how they make their money. And it doesn't matter if you're black or white or Hispanic or whatever. Once you buy into that mindset, that's how you got all those people in the comment section of that Instagram video you shared. A lot of them black talking about, well, what about the landlord?
Yeah.
Because they think in their minds that they're going to be landlords one day themselves, millionaires one day themselves.
Right.
And so we got a whole lot of people who, like Eric Adams, who buys into the system. He bought into it because he's a cop, right? But they buy into a system, and before you know it, they will literally change their tune. They knew that they came from the bottom, but now they believe this system, and now they're spitting on, talking about, making laws against, imprisoning and vilifying poor people. When you came from that, but now that you think that you can become a billionaire, because everybody think they're gonna be the next billionaire. That's what
everyone, and then they believe that, and also it's like they're going off of income of these everyone who's online right now going viral. Their income is hot, and so people that are trying to jump into leaving their corporate jobs. It's just a lot of things that are happening right now. But there's still regular people like us in the world who working 9 to 5s or whatever and paying our bills, and it's not working for us. And like, it's not working for us. I can't afford. I need these things. I need this roof over my head. I'm not going to settle for roaches in the corner. I'm not going to do it. I'm just not. Nobody can tell me to do that. I found the cheapest place I can find that literally was cheaper than the roaches in the corner just because of location. Had to sacrifice some of my my pride because police officers, right? Because skin color. And then I need a car. I need a car. I need something that's functionable. I need something that can get me where I need to go get groceries, go, wherever I need to go. I go do my other jobs outside of, because I got 6 damn jobs just to make a way. And so to go to church, to do those things, to go run, those type of things, right? That cost, the insurance that comes with it has fluctuated. Then they started putting a fee for you if there was one half a day of a lapse, 30 minutes of a lapse, because your card may not have gone through. Your charge, it went from $25 to $50 to $100 here for
insurance,
right? Insurance. If you change your insurance over, if you were taking somebody off, you were adjusting something, a fee for that. So this is what we're dealing with. There's a fee for everything. And I've never seen so many fees in my life. Now everybody gets paid for something. I got those tickets. When I went in, I realized there's a fee for everything. They're going to make sure everybody gets paid in this thing. Right. They're going to make sure everyone gets paid. They're going to make sure the clerk gets paid. They're going to make sure the PO that you have for the ticket to pay it off, you got to pay. They know that they gave you a payment plan because you can't afford to pay it off in one, yet you got to pay extra to your PO for 3 months, and there's no reason. Why do I have to pay extra for 3 months and not the life of the payment plan? Why is it specifically 3 months? See, there's always something for some. They will literally they're predators to people who are already down, to people who are poor, and it's so systemic. The rental system. You're just getting a simple ticket. You're just getting a simple ticket that should be $50, $80, whatever the case may be. The ticket was literally like $280, but everybody gets paid. If you look at the breakdown on the ticket, everybody gets paid. And the longer that you have to pay it, they're going to make sure that they add a fee. They want you to pay it in that way. They want you to pay it in that way. Then you think they want you to pay the interest that comes on these things? And now you should think, back in the day, you used to have good credit. You get good, interest rate. They don't give a damn now.
Right.
Your interest rate, your interest rate could be 29%, and you got an 800 damn credit score. Literally. This is what it is now. You thought your credit was something, and mind you, why would you trust something that just came out in 1980? Why? Ben, we lost you. Why would you trust something that came out in 1980, like what was it, 1980? A system that they couldn't even trust themselves. It takes you so long to build up your credit because, again, it's systemic. And then 2 seconds of your school loans.
You forgot about that.
That you didn't defer again. For that, you forgot to defer, and that reported to your credit. You went from and this is a true story. You went from a 730, my first time in my life, and went all the way back down to whatever because of that one missed payment.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
And that worked so hard to get my behind there. Yeah. It took me years to get there.
No, you are a number. We all are numbers to be extracted from. This is literally the model. This is not a political statement. The economic model that we live under, every human being is a digit to be extracted from. How much can they get out of you? And we have a government that literally just turns us over to them. Think about, just real quick, I know it's a different subject, but just think about the oxycodone problem, right? How many people, of course they cared because it was mainly white people, but that's a whole different conversation. The fact is that the government allowed us to be exploited in that way because it made the pharmaceutical companies filthy freaking rich. And so, of course, why do you think you have these car salesmen on every single 5 or 6 car salesmen on every single corner? Because it's there to extract the need that you have to have a car. But they're going to make sure they tack on every fee imaginable, everything imaginable. They're going to make sure your parts do not last as long. Why do you think you have auto zones and every variation of it on every single corner? Because they know your car is only going to last long enough so that they can make more money off of you later. It is literally a science that they have mastered. And then when people get hip to it, you started off with this, Rebecca. This is how they get away with it now. How they get away with it now that everybody knows in 2024. They say, don't worry about that. Worry about the immigrants at the border.
Yes.
Don't worry about that. Worry about the LGBTQIA community. Don't worry about exploitation, the fact that you can't afford to pay a $2,400 a month rent. You need to blame Black Lives Matter. That's all.
Oh, no, that's exactly who you need to blame every single time. It's these people. It is you DEIs that are the issue. We're looking at so many issues in all of these different states and their leaders like Ronaldo DeSantis, like him out there in Florida, which is my home state, and seeing how so many schools are removing anything that celebrates diversity. Like all of that for Black people, anything that celebrates Black people, Indigenous people, they're making sure that they remove that because they want equality. Equality would allow you to celebrate Black people because for so many years it's been instilled and indoctrinated into this university, actually, the history of these types of universities, that Black people are inferior and didn't deserve to walk this campus for so many years, decades. Some of y'all grandparents, some of y'all mamas and daddies remember these times. And so it is imperative that we celebrate the Black people that help build up your white university, that help feed your white children, that help clean up y'all dirty homes, that helps y'all learn how to take care of yourselves and
how to wash your legs.
Those type of things. Add seasoning to your food, and so many different other things, right? These are Black people that help build the things, your everyday items, like the traffic light, cell phone, right? What else do we have? Peanut butter. We can talk about foods. The pad, right? Sanitary pads for women. All of these things, probably so, with fragrances. Like these different things. They said that it's historically, they said that Indigenous people used to sage and burn things around the colonizers, and the colonizers were so fascinated with that when in fact they were doing that. Indigenous people who they killed off and took their lands and some of their practices and try to say that they did it, they made it. They did that because colonizers were stank.
Listen, That's a historical fact.
Right.
And it's funny as hell.
Historical. I'm saying all of this. And while I'm saying the trickle down economics, all of this stuff, the poor people are being abused the worst. While I'm saying that, when you poor and you black, when you poor and you a minority, they said you need to grab yourself by your bootstraps. And over there, they're telling those black people, we don't want to recognize you at this university, and we probably won't recognize you at. I remember back when I was in high school, y'all, and I remember when people were complaining that they were going to jobs with their degrees from HBCUs, and they were being turned away because they went to school at HBCUs. And if you guys don't know, we all here went to an HBCU. Everybody that you're looking at on your screen went to an HBCU. And so knowing that, imagine, I'm grateful that I had to fight for anything that I did, but it wasn't until I went to another school and got my master's degree. I am so proud of Florida A&M University. I believe that orange and green, that university changed my life, taught me so much. It actually made me more intelligent. It taught me so much about who I am, but historically where I come from. And so I am amazed by that. The school that I went to further my education, Full Sail University, which is a school that focuses on media.
Yeah.
And so I went there and I graduated, and I'm grateful for them as well, who allowed me to go to work and do school at home and go be hands-on with some of my media, all those kind of things. But it wasn't until I started showing that degree started showing up on my resume, and I started to get calls back.
Wow. Over FAMU,
Like,
Full Sail?
for real.
I ain't got nothing. I'm not going to say.
I went to the FAMU's journalism, School of Journalism was such a great program. People were leaving FSU's communication program because it was just communications, and they were leaving that to come over and practice and get the training at FAMU. And I know this because they made me at a point in time a junior trainee for people to help train those people that were coming in and didn't know how to use the cameras and stuff. And they're like, Rebecca, go ahead. I did that at Florida A&M University for those FSU students who didn't know what the hell they were doing with anything. They weren't getting that training.
I really do like this whole period that we're in that's like anti-diversity and inclusion, anti-affirmative action, and basically who's saying like black folks who anything, we didn't earn it. That's the new acronym for DEI is didn't earn it. I really love this. I really love this period. I love this period because anybody who's actually had a job and said with black folks on their job, especially when we're talking about like black professionals, even I'm thinking about attorneys, I'm thinking about folks in the digital world that I come from. You really sit across the room and you watch how you end up having to do the work of all those folks who got there a little bit easier than you.
Talk about it, baby.
You know, when the assignment gets handed down, it's like, who saves the day? A Negro. You know, when there's a crit sit, who, you know, like when there's an attorney who you need somebody to get you off, or you need somebody to help you navigate, and you get you like a black person, a particularly black woman attorney on your side.
Yeah.
And then you see how they do in the courtroom against some of these white attorneys.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm like, do y'all really want to have a conversation about qualifications around this? But it's exactly like you said, they started in the universities. They try to dismiss our universities.
Yeah.
Rebecca, I got my bachelor's, I've got my master's, and I'm just about done with the PhD.
Come on, PhD.
I'm telling you,
come on, man.
Those last two came from white institutions, and not nary one of them was better than Bethune-Cookman. Not one.
I'm sorry to tell you.
I honestly was able to sail. I mean, just coast through these programs of a master's program and a PhD program was nothing to me compared to the rigorous nature of Bethune-Cookman University.
Yes, indeed. That says a whole lot.
Yeah. It does. And and the reason why I wanted to start with that, it's funny that the Lord allowed it to just flow that way, because I was sitting here and I was doing research. I'm like, what do I want to talk about today? And then I began to look, and I remember the conversation that we had about rent before, and we had many conversations about rent and things like that. But the rent that I was talking about before, that ain't the same rent I'm talking about today. I'm talking about $1,000 more today. And I'm talking about in a short period of time. I'm also talking about they raising my rent during the pandemic, the height of the pandemic, the beginning of the pandemic. So this is the conversation we're talking about. We're talking about the moratorium that they put in place that was saving people. But after that, whatever, people couldn't even afford to stay because that moratorium was just holding their spot. Everything else, what we laughing about? See, I don't know.
David is interrupting your wonderful. I love everything that you were saying. Look what this white man put on my screen.
Yeah, not a key.
David, I would fire you, but you're volunteering right now.
David gave it. I'm the only one. Here, another story. Listen, we can't even pay our producer.
We can't even pay our producer. Rebecca is paying the producer.
Whatever coin, yes, I'm paying the producer.
Oh, Rebecca, you paying them now? Okay,
I can afford to give the producer. It comes from me, and y'all see how I'm telling y'all. Can't even rent is too damn high.
We need this
program here is paid for by me. This little, what is this again?
StreamYard.
StreamYard. And we got the best of StreamYard. So imagine paying $50 a month every month for a year. That's why we need your support. So if you guys are watching right now, in the arms of an angel.
No, I'm paying for that, David. James, I'm paying. Yeah. So the music's gonna
okay, good.
We all pay for our little part.
Look, you hit me up so I can get some new music.
Yes, I got that. I find it's we're legal now, so I'll send you the link.
You see what I'm saying, y'all? Listen, so like, share, and subscribe, because when you do that, it hopefully it helps us get us in the algorithm. Not only can you do that for us, but listen, patreon.com/like it or not. I know we've only got a couple more people that joined recently, but we need all of you guys who are watching to head over there and join, because your gifts help us focus on paying the rent, feeding the kids, keeping food in the fridge, and whatever you guys give, make sure that we pay this program and do what we need to do here. What's up, man?
I rebuke you, brother. You, David, don't do that, man. We in the show. You can't be putting stuff on the screen that now inspires.
And especially while Rebecca is giving her soliloquy. And then on top of that, you guys, if you are watching right now and you feel inclined, go ahead and bless your host. We got BPD 2018. We have, because we haven't seen him in forever, DJ X3C on Venmo.
Yes.
Okay. And Becca's Voice on Cash App. Listen, y'all, that's what I want to start with, because rent is too damn high. Remember the guy I was saying rent is too damn high? Yes, my best friend, who's actually here today, she had covered a story when we were in him. Hey, best friend. They say, hey, best friend. But she said, hey, y'all. She covered a story when we were little babies in college, okay? We couldn't even go drink yet. And the story was about rent being too damn high. We were covering this while we were in college, paying college price rent, and we were fighting for our own college rent prices and the people who live in Tallahassee at the time. So knowing that in that moment and then being where we are today, like, come on now. We still talking about that. That's over 10 years. We about to tell our age, girl. But that's over 10 years ago that she covered this story as a junior journalist. So, and I'm still talking about it.
Yeah. Because it's only going to get higher unless we stop.
And I'm getting paid. Back then, I was getting paid about $10 an hour. I was producing at the local news station at the time. They were paying people $9.50.
Wow.
$9.50. Okay. And so, like I said, rent is too damn high. Y'all need to raise the minimum wage for the DEIs, specifically for us in our communities and everything. McDonald's is going up $23, and people not getting the jobs. That's what I saw under the comment section. Y'all going up $23 an hour, but
they're not hiring nobody.
People, they being funny with the money.
Yeah, of course.
They being funny with the money.
Makes sense.
Okay.
Child.
And we're looking at all these things. Some people are doing Uber Eats and what's the other thing
DoorDash.
Called? DoorDash, right? And that's helping them. That's benefiting them more. But it's putting miles on their car to drive to only get $2 worth of tip. And it's none of it is making sense for us. Right. If I'm talking about 15 years ago. I'm telling my age. No, but if I'm talking about a little bit about 13 years ago, and my best friend was covering the story locally, and we're still talking about this. What has changed? Are you saying because y'all decided to raise the minimum wage from what it was then, that y'all had to make sure the Feds is watching, that y'all had to make sure that our rent went up so much higher than what? Like, why couldn't the rent stay where it was or around a comfortable rate? You guys you guys being America and the leaders are focused on the wrong thing. Children are hungry. People are hungry. We're still going through the effects of what the pandemic did. The prices that we want to go ahead and while y'all saying that we need to go lock in on houses, we can't. I can't lock in on a house with the interest rates this high.
Forget about it.
I can't lock in on a rental rate. This is me the time. Only way
interest rates too high, rent's too high,
everything high. Only reason
gas is high.
We split this house, but between it's a few of us, and that was like the most inexpensive way that it was going to work out to save money and to be able to do what we need to do. We had to come together, and that's like the only way we're able to save, like we're saving.
Yeah.
See, Rebecca and James, both of y'all are saying something. Folks online that you got, real life is working class.
Mm-hmm.
Period. Real life is working class. Not every one of these influencers who got a little bit of money represents real life anymore. Once you get over that threshold of working class, you are living in a reality that is not what most humans experience on this planet. James, what you just said, a lot of people experience.
Yeah.
Rebecca, what you've been talking about all this morning, there are more people in the same position that we are in.
Mm-hmm.
I'm working class.
Yeah.
I mean, I've been other things before. I've had money before, but I'm showing up working class now.
Yeah.
And I've been working class like 90% of my life.
No, I know.
You know what I mean? My dad was working class. You know, I'm gonna try my best not to let my kids be working class, but I mean, it is the reality. If you work for a living, and if you live anywhere near paycheck to paycheck, if you only got $50 left over at the end of the month, $100, you can have $1,000 left over at the end of the month. You're doing better than most humans on the planet, but definitely in the United States, because everybody is truly working class.
Yep. And that's what I'm saying. And that's what they don't want to talk about, because people, and that's why these conversations that come up about, here we go, we're going to veer into another lane right now. We're going to take it back from what we talked about. We're going to bring it right here. That's why the conversations online with people with the podcast, with the that's so good. Mm-hmm. That's so good. In the background, those people that ain't got no training, but woke up one day and now they became your a relationship expert, food experts, all these kind of damn experts. And I ain't hating on nobody who got it, because Reese Tisa, you deserve. You had a natural gift. Keith, you got a natural gift. Not y'all, but the people who get on here and cause a mess, especially amongst the Black community, and are getting paid by these white corporations to spew out this misinformation, this information that divides us. But these people are talking about, oh, you know, you can't be with me if you ain't making like at least, you know, 50 grand in this economy. With this tax that they take in Georgia, 2 taxes away from you. 2. You got to file exempt every now and again on your paycheck to make ends meet. And you over 50 grand. In this economy, baby, you talking about you want your man to make how much?
It's 100,000 now, Rebecca. And they say if you don't got a Lamborghini,
today's price is not yesterday's price, so it definitely went up, child. You know,
it went up like the rent, because it went up like the rent. Okay, so they out here talking about back in the day was if you know, now the men are saying the woman needs to look like this. In this economy, in this weather outside, do y'all see what is happening geologically? Do y'all see there is snow happening in summer months, and there is heat happening? Okay, in winter months. In this pollen outside, you want somebody to look like a summer body with this pollen? Okay, you want somebody to come home every day and cook for you while they are literally still recovering from what happened during the pandemic, from the weight that they gained eating that or door dashing, looking at the money they spent during that time. Y'all gotta know y'all recovering, and y'all sitting on these microphones. Best Buy, you must be stopped. Stop selling them. Amazon,
may all of your microphones fall apart like those Shure microphones.
May your microphones fall apart just like the Shure piece in the back.
They need microphones need to be like gun control. Y'all need to control these microphones like that. But hell, they don't control the gun, so never mind.
Exactly. They don't want to, because now the microphone has now become the weapon.
Rebecca.
Look, I'm on it today. I don't know. The Lord is
Rebecca, you've been on it.
The Lord is using me. Y'all be in my amen corner. So good.
Black woman.
See, the Lord is using me this morning.
Yeah.
I didn't know what I was going to come on and say, but he put it on my heart to discuss the rent being too damn high. But and it's not only the rent, it's just the rent being too damn high is the title for everything being too damn high.
Hello, some.
Okay.
It's a catch-all phrase, Rebecca. Come on.
Listen, and let me take it here, and I'm gonna end it right here. I'll let y'all have the show at the end because I'm done talking. All right. Listen, drugs.
Wow. Okay.
Because the rent is too damn high, and people can't be high, right? The rent's too damn high. People can't even be high to just focus on something else because they going to jail. People still serving time for what now has become legal.
Come on.
Found out there was a loophole for drugs. People are still in jail for this. It pisses me off. You can walk into not even a dispensary, a freaking vape store and get THC under another name. And the loophole, and you probably know this, Bubba, and the loophole is just a simple thing that you just ask for. And because it's contained and not burning, that's how they can tell it to you. So are you telling me, my local weed guy, not mine because I don't have one, but the local weed guy, whoever local's weed guy is outside and doing the same thing, but serving God knows how much time. He's serving it to you first of all, he's selling it to you and not burning it, but yet they're serving time for what people are doing now, what these shops are doing now, and for free, not getting any attack on themselves, not anything, and they're selling it by another name, but it's the same thing.
Delta 8, Delta 9 is in it. They'll tell you that it has THC in it, but they're gonna call it something else. But it's the same thing.
It's literally the same thing. They have them in clusters. They have them and different types. This one you just call it by a different name, and I'm like, this is the same damn thing. But here people they're serving time. They're serving time. No, you guys, it's not. This one's not the Delta one. I know what you guys are talking
Delta.
about.
It's like
this is literally weed. They're selling
THCB.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. THCA,
it's just like a derivative of it, but
weed.
it's the same. It's still weed, y'all.
Yes.
Trust me. I mean, I don't know, but it's still weed.
Yes, I say this because for our listening audience, you got to go and watch that part.
You got to see the facial expression.
There was a message happening on it. I say that to say, even you guys, they're the war on drugs, the war on rent. For poor black people are getting it worse. The reason why some of these people go out and sell because that money came quicker to them in a way that they can take care of their families in places that they were stuck in environmentally or whatever. They can take care of their family. They can take care of themselves. Do you think people just go out? Why are people selling it? Because they get money from it. Okay. Yeah. And now you're telling me people are serving time for something that places like these different vapes, they're vape stores. They're selling it. And it's legal for them to sell it.
Like when I tell y'all legal, like it's so crazy. Go to the smoke shop sometimes to get my supplies. There we go, supplies, and see what kind of hookahs they have sometimes. But they'll offer it to you. There's a whole little section, and I went in there and I smelled some before because they have a little thing where you can smell it. It literally is the same thing. It smokes like the same thing. It's the same thing.
Yeah, yeah. So you are being penalized for being a businessman. You're being penalized for like somebody like Sammy, who goes by Adam in the chat, said you're being penalized for being homeless. We're being penalized for actually being working people, going by the book. We're being penalized for having the audacity to move somewhere where it's safer. We're trying to make things work with every curveball, everything they're throwing at us. We're trying to make things work, but they're still telling us we still must rip and take from you, and all of the above. Like I'm
gonna tell you the real reason why they do that is because of course you're selling in the store. then piece of that profit is going to go back to these companies that's sending it to them, which in turn is probably going to go to the government as well too. So it's all just the money play because they're all making money from it because they can't, the man that's on the street that's selling it, since they can't tax that, that's why they're like, yeah, let's go ahead and get him off the street and lock him up for some petty BS where you got now, like if you're in certain areas, if you have over 3 grams, they're just going to give you a ticket.
Yep.
Simple as
Go
that.
ahead, Ben. Ben, you want to make a point?
Yeah. No, man, y'all saying so much. All right. So first thing, James, my God, y'all, would you believe my brain just said no? Never mind. My brain just said forget about it. Go ahead, Rebecca.
Okay, well, no.
Go ahead. No, I had 2 really good points.
You did.
And my brain just said,
it happens like that. You know why? Because
Ooh.
the pandemic did a lot.
Yeah.
Pandemic did a lot. And discussing my uncle, and this is a true story. Shout out to my cousin Sarah. It's her birthday. Love you. Happy birthday to Sarah. But my uncle had passed away. And when they found him, he had bills in his hand.
Oh my gosh.
This is a very true story. That's why sometimes when I feel overwhelmed, because this stress is causing us health issues. And again, because this is for us and black us. Yes, it is black us. This is for us and by us. The reason why I point that out is because, again, we get hit. Everybody's getting hit, but minority, specifically black people, get hit the hardest when these things are happening. The stress is so much. We don't have the access to healthcare to go get the mental health that we need. Access to different resources, again, are like finding a new place to stay in Atlanta. There's a fee for everything, or there's a limit for everything, or there's a time schedule for everything. There's so much they ask for, they require for you to even get any proper assistance in your hardship. You have to prove every single little thing. And by that time, you're already 5 months behind. You don't need the assistance anymore.
Let me say something before I forget.
Go ahead, Ben.
You just nailed it again. And James, if you could help me remember what you said, because it was so important. But Rebecca, we are people, all of us. Like, and when I say we, I'm not talking about just the 3 of us on the screen. I'm talking about the viewers as well as people who got to go to work.
Yeah.
Y'all realize how much we can't afford to let.
That's my best friend in the background.
Yeah. Okay.
Hey, best friend.
I'm like, who this in the house? We are all people who can't afford to let anything go wrong. Like, we all live on the edge so much in this country that if one thing goes wrong, it can spiral out of control for years to come. If you get sick, it's like if you get sick, you're in America, you can almost forget about it, right? If you lose a job, you can forget about it. If your car breaks down, you can forget about it. One thing in this country goes wrong, and it leads to you being in a cycle that they are just sitting there. The same people who helped make it go wrong, they're sitting there to make money off of it being wrong for you for as many years as you can. So they're going to take the fact that your car is broken down, and it's going to compound. Yeah. You're going to have to do things. You're going to have to spend money that you don't have. It's going to get you deeper and deeper in debt. And that's because they have specialized at keeping us all on the edge, but profiting off of us being on the edge. And that's how we live.
Yep. And oh Jesus, the whole process of just say like that night that I got the ticket, they took my car. I had to pay for the insurance the next day. These are all things that weren't budgeted into that month. So within less than 24 hours of just being stopped for a ticket, a violation, just that one time, I had to spend over $1,000 that I didn't have. So pulling from different areas. And then on top of not having to pay for the about $2,000 ticket, this is money that you're supposed to be saving up to make sure your rent is paid and all this other stuff. You're fed, you're this and that. So many times I talk to people daily because I work in finance. Believe it or not, I spend like a drug dealer and I work in finance. But listen, with those people, I hear people discuss every day their issues. And that's why the company that I work for have an issue with me, because I find there are loopholes and there are ways, and I find them to assist these people who are going through the worst of it. And Y'all, if I could tell you the stories, and there has to be key words that these greedy corporations want from you and I when we call in to discuss a hardship. And if we don't say those words, do you know what happens? You're SOL. Is that how they say it? Yeah. Right? Yeah. You're that. And you better pray to God that your money is not aligned with this financial company that you taking out any kind of credit with or whatever, because in the small print from when you signed up for credit, you didn't know the pandemic was coming, and you've been with this company for about 45 years with your business. And in the small print, there's somewhere that says, we will snatch every coin you have if you bank with us and you owe us any money. This particular financial institution has done that to so many people during the pandemic, has taken every penny from their account because they were about 3 payments past due or something. And I'm talking about big business owners who had to shut down their business because this financial institution decided you owe us and we're not gonna let you go away like that. Yet this financial institution had people working for them taking out PPP loans, and those PPP loans being forgiven.
That's crazy.
Okay, so this is what we live in. And if you were an employee at this financial institution and you happen to get a PPP loan to help you get through whatever you were getting through, this financial institution had the right to go through your bank account and do an investigation on you. Okay, y'all, I swear, this is happening. This is what's happening. This particular financial institution that I cannot name has done so much, and I've witnessed, and that's why I say, y'all, that's also a thing. We have to work for companies that don't align with our beliefs every day. We have to own and respect the job that we're working for, and how I do my due diligence every day, just like how I feel like sometimes I don't feel comfortable giving tithe at the church because I'm like, okay, God, help me to give this 10% somewhere else. I'll give it to a homeless person outside. I'll give it to somebody who is calling me, asking me for gas money. There's something I will do. And with that being said, in this particular financial institution, even though I don't like the way they function, I ask God every day to allow me to be a vessel to the people that I speak with every day, to do something that I can assist them with, because I know I am them on the other side of that phone. Yeah, I am. And you guys, I kid you not, the people that I talk to every day that are being beat down the most, that have the longest relationship with these institutions, are more brown and black people than they are white. Yeah, so that's all I have. That's where I'm at with it. That's why I tell you guys every day, where I want to be is right here. What I want to do is this 100% in totality. I was blessed. Some people are not blessed. It's very hard for people to break into do, let alone journalism. I was told because I was dark skinned and I was Haitian that I would not be able to do it. And I was told that by my own professors, not because they were pushing me away. They were saying, wow, you are the perfect fit. You are literally the perfect fit. You've been doing journalism since you were in middle school. And that's the truth I have. And to high school, to, of course, that's why my dad taught me how to use a camera. He was a cameraman. I knew all these things already. But they had to tell me because at the time, you don't fit the specific mold of what they want a black journalist to look like on air. And I was blessed to have the opportunity to break into the digital world. Blessed. But even then, my white bosses were paying me so damn less than my black counterpart. But they were even paying him less and taking our coins and doing God knows what with it. And we were giving them our all. We were giving them our all over there. We were giving them the best show that y'all could ever see. And we're still here, like it or not. But I'm telling you right now, we held it down like that. And if it wasn't for Ben, who was a great educator, a great teacher, and we need more people like that in these spaces. But the people who are in these spaces who are getting paid and doing, their hearts are not in it.
That's right.
Their hearts are not in it. The algorithm blesses them so much, but we got to do 6 jobs. And I watched the young man the other day talking politics, they're calling these people citizen journalists, and they're giving misinformation. I watched them give misinformation. There's a way that we have conversation, right, as professionals, and there's a way that we give information as professionals. I'm blessed because I know how to do all of that. I was trained to do it. And when I'm watching people get on here and give misinformation but get paid to do so, this is dangerous. There's a difference between us because right now we're having a conversation, we're having commentary, we're analyzing, we're breaking down. This is our conversation and our own beliefs. But y'all know the difference between us dropping what's actually happening in our conversation. That's the point of this whole show.
Right.
To have an opinion, but to give you the facts first. But I'm watching these citizen journalisms. Listen, I honestly, this is my old school part of me. I don't like it. You need some form of training, because coming out here and just making accusations and it not being flagged on platforms like TikTok and on Twitter, they're picking and choosing what they want to flag. They're picking and choosing what they want to push. People are getting, there's that girl, Bobby, what's her name? Bobby Storm or whatever the case may be. Now she's going, the one that did the interview with Offset and Offset.
I don't even see her anymore. She's still around?
She's now gotten even bigger. And the Black community and pages like the Shade Room are continuing to post her instead of pushing Black talent, Black anything. You see what I'm saying? So we have it the toughest in all these spaces, but if y'all think that we're not, we're pushing and we're making things survive again with our rent, with our work, even in places where they don't want to see us and they don't want us to rise up, and we're watching other people who are less qualified get the opportunities. We're still making ends meet and we're still doing what we got to do, and we're still showing up here on most of the Saturdays that we can and giving you guys a show, because this is what where we really want to be, what we really want to do. What a tongue twister, but that's it.
Right.
That's it. So I mean, and I watch people who don't even have a quality like this, like you said. They don't have this, and this is us at lower quality, baby, because we know how to do it, baby. And if you go, like, we know how to do this thing. Okay,
go do your research. Just go back. Just go back. Do your research,
please.
No, they don't got to go back. Really, just hang on. Just a little bit longer.
Just a little bit longer.
Even what you have right now, y'all, they not doing it like this
at all.
And Becca, just because I'm gonna keep doing it, because I'm gonna keep encouraging you, sis. You are high key poised to be one of the most dynamic and most powerful political thinkers and commentators in the game, hands down. So when you say they ain't really doing it like this, it's not just because we know how to do the cameras, the lighting, and the microphones and stuff. And matter of fact, it's pretty funny because we were really ahead of everybody else. Like 100%. Before 99% of these influencers got out there, we were out there.
No, we've been. The thing is, we didn't allow, but we were hoodwinkled.
Hoodwinked.
Yeah, it's whatever. Hoodwinked. And those are American words.
Bullwinkle.
We were hoodwinked. We literally, I saw Ben make sure, he said, I am going to move my family out here for an opportunity that I know is going to change my family's life, but it's a risk that comes with it.
Yeah.
And the what you poured, Ben, what you poured into it. And then how you educated me on how to pour into it. Man, like, I watched you literally. Your wife came here, and in 2 days she was pregnant. After that, y'all literally landed, and she was pregnant in 2 days. A picture.
I don't miss.
We were there morning to night, literally morning to night, working on stories, working with alongside our producers. They became family for us.
Yeah.
Those white producers became our family, and they knew the vision, and that's what birthed Like It or Not. And we're still here from that day. So I say all that to say, y'all, listen, struggles are here, and our community gets it the worst in all these different cases because we decide to do it just a little bit different. We decide to do things that don't fit the mold. Ben is a whole pastor.
A whole pastor.
Okay.
They don't believe I'm really a pastor.
Is a whole LGBTQIA plus DJ.
Okay.
Okay. I just happen to be 17 different personalities. I don't know why God made me that way,
20,
but he did.
21 maybe.
Right. And, people can't understand how she's so saved, how she likes to throw ass, how she, she likes to give love to people and encourage folks. And, I'm all of those things. And I'm Haitian and a Florida girl, all those things. But I'm also a journalist. And it's just like, we're skilled for this. Everybody has their skill. Everybody has their thing. Yeah. And because sometimes we don't grift hard enough. We don't get like I would. So sometimes I want to be like Trump and then make a coin for about a year, but it's just not in me. Yeah, it's just not in me. Mm-hmm. It's just not in me. Yeah. So
it's too much other stuff to talk about. Listen, don't get me wrong. Like I'm gonna circle back and do what we got to do. But there's just too many other things that are real that are happening every single day. And like today's episode, like this is what people are really dealing with. Trump matters and his fascist movement that matters and all that. But you're absolutely right, Rebecca. Ain't nobody got time to just sit and but if we did, we'd all be sitting pretty though. And we all just Trump all day, man. What microphones?
Okay.
Go buy a Norman.
Trump and Becca and what was it? Bubba Becca. What was the truck names we used to do
Becca, Rebecca. We gave y'all so listen, you get everything over here. You get tears, you get happiness, y'all got a little bit during the pandemic, we ain't had nobody talk to, so we was fighting on it. What? In our most quality version of this show yet. Jesus. We fighting on air. We was messed up. And y'all thought
it was so much. Oh, y'all can see some changes if you really think about it. My God.
Ben was on air. We was like, what's up? What's up?
What's up?
What you mad about?
Is Bubba okay? Bubba seemed like he got an attitude. He talking about taking him down. He'd see it all on my face.
It was too much. It was so unprofessional. But we were going through it in real time. Real time.
Oh, those are the good old days.
We can laugh about it, and we still going through stuff, but we can laugh about it. That's how I know. That's what you call growth. And listen, if you don't, I've watched these other platforms literally grift so hard. They lost all of the people that their talent that they've worked alongside. And it's only them two, and I'm talking about that one white one, a European, I don't know, that goes by a different name, but those people, and I'm talking about them specifically because they were the head of a lot of things, only to realize their talking points were coming from a lot of Black shows that were similar. So there was nothing that they had that was specifically for them, and we watched them go from being one way to another, and it's okay because people have room to grow, shift, pivot. I love it. Do what you need to do. But it became at the cost of the same people that they built this platform to protect and speak for. So LGBTQIA plus community is getting attacked. Minority community is getting attacked. Now, so many different people, even like you, Ben, are being called out by these same people that once were allies to you. So
I am. I didn't even know
that was back then. But to be in these spaces, and to be is a blessing. It's a blessing, y'all. Man. We are blessed to be here with you guys, and we're blessed to have these conversations. I don't want to, it's just my rant today.
Becca, we here for it,
okay.
Listen, rent is too high, but we got roofs over our head. I'm grateful.
Amen.
Right?
Come on,
we're making it work.
We're making it do what it do.
We're making it do what it do. Groceries are too high, but I'm still able to go ahead and have me a good meal, make some breakfast, cook, do what you need to do. Right? Like we're gonna make sure we make ends meet. The light bill is too high, but we're gonna still make sure we plug in every Saturday so we can give you this show.
Come on, man.
We're gonna make sure we do what we gotta do. Okay.
Come on, talk about it.
Yeah, I won't come.
You know we've grown when I'm saying shucks on there.
Oh, shucks.
If you remember,
shucks.
I said shucks, brother.
Hey, Ben, I went to go see Joe. I went to go see your favorite.
Oh, you went to that concert last night?
I went to the concert. Not last night. There's one tonight. They're doing two. But but I have to work. So I went on Thursday evening with my best friend. And mind you, this was not planned. So I feel like she came for such a time as this. Right? I've been stressed out. I haven't been out. I don't have friends here. So having her with me was beautiful to have because we got to go out and we went to go see Tamia and Joe. And seeing Tamia and Joe, y'all,
Take you back.
The kids don't know. Now they might move a little slow, but God said you will not take their voice because the new kids can't sing, but they can sing. To me, it took that Maxwell, and it's not Maxwell's original, but the Maxwell who he remade, but we only know it to be Maxwell's song, A Woman's Work. She took that song and mixed it and merged it with There's a Stranger in My
Really?
Ooh.
And she was on her knees singing it, and she gave it such a as if the spirit moved her, as if she was, listen, y'all. They ain't doing the shows like that. They sitting down talking about anxiety is causing them, sorry, Summer Walker, not to look at the crowd they're performing for. Okay?
You had to call. I like see that. You should have made me cut the camera.
I don't like ugly.
Don't talk about that later. Don't talk about that later like that.
No, I like Summer's voice. I vibe with Summer. But then you got Tamia, who's out there, and she's doing what she need to do, like vocally, and I'm like, she doesn't get the love that she needs. Joe, they're not entering him in the conversations when they're talking about men on the microphones. I love Tank so much. Tank, yes, Tank is an R&B king, and he likes to sell. He calls himself R&B money, right? He likes to claim that. But we got people like Joe who's still alive. We got people like Joe who's still walking around. So
he's still young. He ain't that old
yet. And Tank, I respect you vocally, but we do got Joe. We do got Carl Thomas. We got these people. We can't just say they don't exist. Carl Thomas just got his video put back on YouTube after allegedly, Jay-Z put it down because the Beyonce was the star of that video.
That's what happened.
What video are you talking about?
Oh, no, sorry. It's Case. My best friend in the background. She's like, it's Case. It's Case. Yeah, it's Case. So, yeah. Well,
I forgot. I forgot.
Yes, and that video went missing from YouTube. And then all of a sudden it popped up. But we got people like that in this world. So when we're talking vocally about R&B people, I don't know how we got here, but those people are good. Okay? And again, Black might expand. But baby, it ain't cracking. And vocally, those people are still good. Smokey's still out there doing a two-step. If y'all ain't seen him, he's giving y'all sexy. Smokey's coming up like this, and he a little brittle, but his voice is still
1.5 step.
I heard Smokey album a little spicy too.
Album. At 95.
He about 95.
And he on tour, and he
Smokey, if
you look good though.
Let me show you what Smokey did. Smokey did like this in front of the crowd. He said. And then Jaheim is back on the mic with the roof missing, but the voice is still there. The roof is missing, and he got the dreads over there and just doing there's a dread giving y'all a George. What is George Jefferson?
Jefferson, yeah.
The feeling is gone, and
he got the predator dreads.
He's singing, but he's singing. Okay, people saying. Physically, I may not be who I used to be, but I lived that life. But my voice is still here, and I can still sing for you. I still got a gift to share for you.
Come on.
Did you see Eric Benet?
Frontal men's units cannot stop me. I'm gonna be who I am because the gift inside of me is bigger. And I'm done. And I'm done.
Did you see Eric Benet sitting in the tub with the pearls on?
Eric Benet, see, the internet isn't for those type of people. Those type of people need to be, because I went on Tamia's website and it hasn't been updated in ages, but people still was at that concert.
Come on.
Good. Okay. Good.
Come on.
But when your voice does the work for you, Eric Benet is a singer. I don't want to see him in the bathtub with pearls and being weird. Somebody said, yes, he's a high singing man. No, what they said, yes. Eric Benet can sing high, but he also is very high.
Clause 22. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. I love to see you, Rebecca. You doing it? Put up that comment from Clause 22. It said, "I love how Becca talks to the camera." I didn't see that.
Yes.
You be come a little closer.
Come closer.
Okay.
And then my hand be here for 10 seconds.
Look, for when I first started doing all this, especially now, like watching y'all do this, like when I first started doing the whole podcasting thing, I used to be staring at people looking like this, talking as the mic falls down. Now I've gotten used to like, oh, okay, wait. I can just look at the camera and talk, and I can be okay.
I'm the exact opposite. When we first started this, I used to do nothing but stare at the camera. Now I'm like,
because we were in the studio. There's camera 1, and then we go over to camera 2, and then we take it back to camera 1, and then we're gonna take it here. And I'll engage with my anchor, with my co-anchor, and then we'll come back here. We'll be right back after this. Okay?
Call me the round Brian Gumble.
Yes. Ben, I used to tell Ben that he reminded me of Roland Martin. And this is this is Roland Martin from CNN. Roland Martin. Before Roland Martin went rogue. Okay. I was like, Ben was giving me that. And today. Ben, but after I met Ben, I was like, "Oh, Ben ain't even like that." So we helped each other, free each other, and educate.
She taught me. I don't know why, but it was that Mary video. If it's still up, it was a great video. But I realized I was like, "Wait a minute, we can talk politics and roast
Ben,
people."
What did we try to name that segment again?
Do you remember? I don't remember what
it was. It was something about shade, and it was very embarrassing because you hated the graphic that our producer at the time chose. Hated that graphic. You wanted to.
Rebecca, I forget half of this conversation we just had. I ain't gonna remember nothing that happened 10 years ago.
Oh, you guys are asking me for my Cash App again. Let me just tell y'all, it's Becca's voice on Cash App. It's Becca's voice. It's Becca's voice. But and then listen, tip your host, y'all. We got BPD 2018, DJ X.
Don't send nothing to me today though. Send it to James and Rebecca.
Listen, Becca's voice on Cash App and Venmo for DJ X3C. Listen, I am so proud to be with you guys, and I'll probably say this every damn show. I will always say this every damn show. But I know you guys are waiting for my individual show. It's dropping. Don't worry, it's coming. There's a lot. It's been a lot that happened this past month. Haiti, all this other stuff, and I didn't want to mix up too much stuff with what was going on. But don't worry, we got the shades of good news coming to you. But like it or not, isn't going nowhere. So make sure you guys keep watching, keep sharing, keep liking. Who's calling us, Bubba?
Child, that was my mama.
Mama Gwen.
Right.
Mama Gwen, you not watching?
I should have answered it and put on speakerphone and embarrass her real quick.
We ain't seen Mama Gwen. Oh man.
That's because we haven't been.
I'm on the phone on the show.
Hey, Mama Gwen.
Hey, Mama Gwen.
Chicken this morning and I didn't see you, so I didn't know what was going on.
Yeah, we're on right now, so you can go log on and
say hey to us. We saying hey to her.
Okay, I'll try. Okay,
she said say hey to everybody. You got to say hey, y'all.
Mama Gwen.
You heard them and say hey, Mama Gwen.
They told me I love them.
Oh, she say she love you all. Oh,
she's so precious.
Sweet. That's okay. Bye.
So precious. Okay, guys, listen, we got 10 more minutes on the clock. I really want to get some of the before we do get them in. I want you guys to get your last look because I'm moderating. We're gonna get these last words in. I don't want to hold you guys. I know you got kids, Ben, and I know Jada be coming into that room ready to get you up out of it. And I know Bubba, you got some moving to do.
It's Saturday.
And that's for me in my house. I got a few errands to do before it's my last day with my best friend before we go to dinner tonight. So if y'all looking for me, I'm outside. So listen, any last words from you two? Because I really want to get through the super chats or some of the comments. And I want some comments. I want to read some of the comments that we actually have because there's some good ones I saw. So whatever you feel inclined to post, David, nothing crazy. But whatever you feel inclined to post, let's read some comments, let's read some super chats, and let's have a blast. All right, we got Funky Flesh. Go ahead, Bubba. It's up.
Yes, you guys are some of my favorites on YouTube. Everyone reading this, subscribe to their channels if you haven't yet. Yes, please subscribe, y'all. Hit up Becca's channel. And if you haven't, go to all 3 streams. That's what I did. I went to all 3 streams and and shared. So everybody can just please
and make sure y'all do. I got too many people on my channel who ain't over on their channels. Go
and speaking of channels, David, I don't know how we need to link mine. My channel has been here already, but I just need to share
we'll show you
it,
next time you're on StreamYard. I'll show you how to go ahead and link it. Okay.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay. Perfect. So then that way, then we can do BBC over there, and just cut up. And I mean, still do like maybe do an edited version for Ben's channel, and then on my channel like replay it with all the other stuff in there. Yeah,
yeah. You can. All those things are possible, and I can go over that stuff with you and how to do it too.
Okay.
So yeah, so we got to make sure we respect each other's channels as well. But yeah, I want you guys to, like Ben said, head over to BBC, head over to Rebecca Azor. We're live right now. Bubba will be live on next Saturday. We're gonna get you up and running, and just make sure you guys at least like, share, and subscribe. Get these numbers up. There's gonna be a lot of great things that we do individually. And I heard Ben got church. Yeah, church going on this page. Now, come on.
Look, and I want to say it ain't James' fault. My channel changed. My channel.
But there's nothing wrong with that. So there's nothing wrong with pivoting. It's okay. That doesn't make nobody less. Nobody less than. It's okay. But I'm a respect the channel.
Stand on your knees. That might have to go over the.
Yeah.
The twerk wheel.
Yeah.
What was it?
The twerk wheel.
Twerk air. That will not be on my page.
The twerk air.
That won't be.
And I know people like anyway.
But I love it. But I love it for Bubba. And I told Bubba, you need to get your own page. You need to start doing. You need. Yeah. And you got this new setting, and out with the old. We're in with some new. So. And that's a word for anybody else who's watching. If y'all felt like inclined to do anything at this moment and you just felt like, when's the right time? Right now. I'm speaking to myself. Right now is the time. Right now is
No, you did it yesterday. No, do it right now.
She's on the couch.
She's sitting on the couch.
Do it right now.
Look for a job. No, do it right now.
Educate.
Why do we all know that commercial?
That one, what's that one? Everett?
Everett, I think. What are you doing with your life?
You're sitting on the couch and it's like, damn. I'm not even college age yet. Look at him, 13. Bro,
this was 10, 15 years ago that commercial came out. We didn't say we know what he looked like. We know what a black man looked like. We know what he
Yeah.
Like they go Dwayne a little bit.
Remind me of Dwayne. Fuck off, my God.
Yeah. All right, we're gonna keep moving. Omega Star, thank you for the super sticker of $49.99. I appreciate that's awesome. All right, Alicia says, "Love y'all."
Haven't seen you in so long.
Yes, for real. So,
I know.
Rebecca,
give it to me.
When you,
give it to me.
I both, yeah.
Give it to me
for 3 years.
Give it to me. I got another Christmas tree coming up this year. Give it to me.
But I'm gonna tell you,
3 years. I got you,
Alicia. It's only because these 3 years have been extremely tumultuous. Would be the best.
Tumultuous. Yes.
I live in the same. We don't live in the same city, but. Now, this city that he lives in, Alicia, I'm gonna go pull up on him and I'm gonna get it.
Pull up, sis. Look, come on, pull up on me. So I got you. I give you bins too, because I just need to send bins. And I made sure to bring them with me. I threw a lot of stuff away, but I made sure to put those boxes in the bin, and they're still unopened.
Okay. And for folks who are like, what in the world are they talking about? Alicia has been such a long time supporter and riding with us. She sent all 3 of us Christmas gifts, but I think it was only 2 years. It couldn't have been 3 years.
It was 3, and it's ornament.
It was definitely 3, and they're ornaments. Yeah.
Oh, I'm putting it on my tree this year.
Yeah, I want it because
they definitely probably say 2000,
and I want my ornament. So,
what I mean,
yeah.
Fresh in the house.
Funky Fresh sent another $5 super chat. Thank you, Funky Fresh. Trevor Panaki, stay strong. Everything will be okay. Being okay is what we do.
That's
Thank you so much.
Funky Fresh, another $5 super. Funky, you just better drop the 20s. I mean the 5s. Alan Reese sent the $20 euro.
Yep.
Super sticker.
I think that's
okay.
That's my stripper dance. Because stop playing with me,
Rebecca.
Ben, you can't look.
I gotta make sure I don't put this on screen. Got information on. No. We ain't got nothing better to do on a Saturday.
Right. All right. Shout out to Omega Star again for the 99-cent super sticker. Appreciate it. And Jay West says,
we have to talk about
manual ISO labeling.
Okay, we'll talk about that on the next show. I don't have the full information, but I do know this. This man said some comments about Angel Reese, and Angel Reese. It's a whole thing. I will have it more developed for you guys on next Saturday. I promise you, because we must discuss. I want to talk about the Cash Apps. Thank you, Carrie Shaw, for your Cash App. Thank you, Andrew Lewis. I really appreciate it, guys. Mwah. Thank you for the individual love. Thank you for the family love. You guys, it means everything to us, okay? So make sure you support. Amen. You guys have been supporting. And everybody, if you're watching right now, that means you can head over to patreon.com. You who are watching right now, head over to patreon.com /like it or not. and become a Patreon right now, because your support helps us all. What's up?
Yes, and before we get out of here, I have some new patrons. As a matter of fact, Becca, and thank you for bringing that up. That was perfect timing. So new patrons, we have Mandy LB, David, Quasimodo 1, Liliana B, Janice 0, Teresa Ann C, Alexander H, Vince, Aaron, Glenda H, JWM, Ben, you subscribe to your own channel?
Sometimes you gotta support yourself.
I appreciate that.
Support yourself.
Support yourself.
Encourage
new Twitch subscribers.
Yes.
Stay with me, y'all. We got church tomorrow.
I know.
Okay, Twitch subscribers. We got Hammer the Irk 1G who resubscribed, Late Bloomer 66 who resubscribed, Synthos 187 cheered 200 bits and said, "I would love to call in to offer my experience working for an agency that prosecutes police for misconduct."
We'd love to talk to you.
That's something to remember, okay? Andy from Ohio. Hey,
Andy from Ohio.
Andy from Ohio resubscribed. I miss you, Andy, so much. Man, and I hate,
love you,
before we move on, I hate that I missed a lot of the patron party. Oh my gosh, I was trying to get everything moved in. So next patron party, I will definitely be there. Ben held it down. We stayed on for like maybe 10 more minutes after I logged in. I did log in, but it was only for such a short amount of time. So next time I'm there, I'm fully there. Okay.
Sorry, look, next time I'm there. Who knows? But I'll be there. I'll be live. Yes.
It's been about 4 years since you came to a patron party.
It has. I ain't even gonna hold you.
It really has.
It really has.
Oh, this is a good one. Toxic Shocky gifted a 6-month subscription.
Come on, Toxic Shocky.
That's dope. Thank Toxic Shocky. Yes. Okay, appreciate you. Onyx Squared resubscribed, in Judgment Free Zone. Don't y'all judge me. Judgment Free Zone subscribed as well too. And it looks like we just got another super chat from two of them. Soul Life sent us a $10 super chat. And that's it.
No, thank you so much, Soul Life. Thank you so much, everyone who has definitely given an Omega Star. Adam Reed, his name is Sammy, and out of France, by the way, giving love to us. We're getting love from we have.
Je ne sais quoi.
Listen, je ne sais quoi. On soit, je ne sais quoi.
You know,
merci.
You must
Sammy, merci.
Voulez-vous coucher avec moi?
Voulez-vous coucher avec moi ce soir?
Voulez-vous?
Sinon. Anywho, y'all, listen. Thank you.
Real quick, Leon just said, "Toxic is my fiance." That gift went to me. That's dope. Okay, I had to read that comment. That's dope, Leon.
Oh man!
All right, y'all. We're at the end of the show. We hit that 12.
Y'all act like y'all don't want to leave though.
No, I don't. But I have things to do. I don't want to leave, but I gotta go right now. Yeah, we gotta go. We gotta go.
I don't want to go.
I know you don't want to go, Ben. I'm shocked.
Usually
you be like, gotta go.
Yeah, and listen, we're going to the park later. Yeah. Last week we had to go. Yeah, but yes.
Okay, no, that's good. It's you have family time to spend, but I have to go. I have to handle some errands. My sister isn't in town. I have her bird, so I gotta take care. I am the bird lady. I gotta take care of her bird. I'm gonna go run another errand for her, and then I'm back home. So, y'all, I love you guys so much. I want you guys to enjoy your weekend and remember what we said. It was a lot of things that we said, but I need you to do it now. I don't need you to do it later. Right. Whatever it is that you want to do, what you're working on for yourself. Even if you have a job, a 9-to-5, we all have it, whatever. But whatever the case may be, put some time in for you and what you want to do. I know it may be difficult, but try to do that thing, okay? Put some time into it. Love on yourself. Do what you need to do. I don't care what it is. And we'll check back in next Saturday, and we'll have a blast again. Until next time, y'all, I love you. Mean it. Mwah.
Love you, mean it. Hey, let me get y'all the inspiration vitamin for the day. I see so much to be grateful for when I take the time.
There you go. Because I'm grateful for how I look. It's a lot of girls who don't look like me. Okay. And when I look in the mirror to look, I'm blessed. Blessed and highly favored. Bye, y'all.
Deuces, y'all. Rebecca Azor. Like it or not, y'all. 2023.